Hello, it's Phil here for Digital DJ Tips, and I'd like to talk to you today about splitter cables. Now, you will hear the term splitter cable used a lot when you are reading beginners DJing articles or articles about software such as Algorithms DJ software for the iPad and the iPhone, and also Virtual DJ. And indeed, you'll read it all over the place when people are talking about getting going cheaply in DJing. So what I'd like to do is tell you what a splitter cable is, tell you some of the confusing points that people sometimes trip up on when they're trying to get their head around splitter cables, and then show you a couple of examples and explain how it works. So when you DJ, the biggest problem people have is that people are beginning to DJ, they want the equipment, they want to buy the software and get the laptop up and running, but they don't really understand what a DJ does. And so the splitter cable, in order to understand what it is, you need to understand why you need it and what a DJ does. So apologies to people who have DJed a couple of times and realise this, but a lot of people don't, and I'll go over it quickly. A DJ basically will have one track going in his headphones while another track is playing out of his sound system to the audience. And the reason for that is that the headphones allow you to check the track that you're about to mix in, make sure it's something that you actually want to play. Amazing how your memory can say, hey, that's going to be great, and then you have a quick listen and go, it isn't going to be great. But also to get it to the right speed and to bring it in at the right time. All those reasons, you're going to want to listen to a track that isn't the one the audience is hearing. Now with digital DJing, that brings about a problem because, say your computer for instance, you've got your DJ software up and running, but your computer only has one sound output. Either it has its speakers built in, or it has the headphones output, of course, which is what you would then plug into some speakers so your audience can hear what you're doing. Trouble is, once you've plugged your audience into that headphones output, you haven't got any headphones to listen to the next track on. Or if you plug your headphones in, then the audience can't hear anything. So you immediately see that you need two sound outputs. And the way DJs get around that professionally is by having a dual sound card. A sound card, or an audio interface, which is basically the part of the computer or the part of a piece of equipment which produces the sound, will have two outputs. One for the audience, one for your headphones. Job done. The problem with that is, for beginner DJs, they cost money. And if you're going to be downloading some software, that might even be free software, and putting it on your laptop to experiment with DJing, you probably don't want to go and spend quite a lot of money on a decent sound card which will plug into your computer and give you those two outputs. It's an expense that if you decide DJing is not for you, you really don't want to have. So you need to find a way around that. And the easiest way around that is to use a splitter cable. So now we know why you need a cable. Let's look at the problems people have with this, and we get asked questions here all the time. We have people saying, hey, I've got a splitter cable, it's not working. So let's look at what kind of splitter cable you need, what it is and what it does, which will hopefully help to clear up some of these problems. So I have a couple of splitter cables here. Here's a very simple one. This is made by DJ, by Algorithm and by Griffin for their DJ application for the iPhone and the iPad and the iPod Touch. On one end it has a headphones socket plug to go into a headphones socket. So this is going to plug into your iPod or your iPad or your iPhone in order to bring the sound out. On the other end, it has two jack plugs, one of which is for your headphones. Most headphones nowadays have a nice unscrewable plug, so one of those is for your headphones. The other one you will plug into your sound system or your speakers. There you go, two outputs, one lead. You might ask how it does that, and the way it does that is because your headphones are in stereo. You've got a left, and a right. But there's a little workaround that means that you can send the left-hand channel to your speakers and the right-hand channel to your headphones. And the software, this is the crucial bit, and this is the bit people quite often don't work out. The software will put the sound it wants your audience to hear down the left-hand channel to go to the speakers, and the sound it wants you to hear, i.e. you listening to the next track, into your headphones. Now obviously stereo means left and right. It means that you're going to get a stereo signal. Stereo is when you have two slightly different signals to give you that feeling of space in music. That's gone because it mixes the stereo signal that your audience are going to hear into one signal and sends it down the left-hand channel, one mono signal, and the stereo signal that you would normally hear in your headphones, again, it mixes it, this is all in the software, into one mono signal and sends it down the right-hand channel, right-hand bit, to your headphones. So you're sacrificing stereo in order to have two separate outputs. That's the big trick behind splitter cables. And that's what confuses people. Now you might say, I don't want to sacrifice stereo. Well, it doesn't matter. Trust me, it doesn't matter. Most sound systems in clubs and bars are in mono anyway because they have speakers dotted all over the place. You're not sat there carefully with one speaker there and one there trying to get it all right like a hi-fi buff. It's the same sound everywhere. So it doesn't make a blind bit of difference that the sound is in mono. And in your headphones, you know, again, you're not looking for the listening experience. You're just looking to get the track to the right speed, check it's all right, get it all mixed in at the right time, and bang, off to the next track. So mono doesn't matter. What does matter is the quality of the sound card in your computer. Now I've been talking about iPhones and iPads because this cable here is actually made for iPhones and iPads. A little secret though, it doesn't make any difference at all. As long as your software can split the signal, a cable like this will work in a laptop, in any computer with a headphones output. But the downside is that if the sound chip, if the thing that makes the sound inside your laptop or your device that you're DJing from isn't very good, then that means the sound quality isn't going to be very good at the other end because the sound quality is only as good as the chip that makes it. So if you have a professional DJ sound card, the chances are it's going to sound better. Having said that, this is going to get you by in most situations. Just check the sound. If it sounds rubbish, you're going to have to think again. But these things are expensive. And sound chips vary. Most of them sound okay. But just be aware of that. You're not going to get the best of the best out of a sound chip that came with a cheap laptop, for instance. So that's the disadvantages and the advantages and a bit of how they work. The pitfall is there are loads of cables that look like this that you can buy. You've probably seen them when you're at an airport and you're looking around those travel accessory racks that you see outside shops in airports, and they'll have a splitter cable. Now those cables are made for people who want to share an iPod when they're on a flight, so you can both plug your headphones in and both listen to exactly the same thing. Now they're everywhere, and people often say, you know, why can't I use a splitter cable? Or I've got a splitter cable, it's not working. Well, the reason it's not working is that they don't work like this. They don't split the signal into two and then send one down there and one down there. They send the same signal down both, so it's not going to help you. So that's just something to be aware of. You need a DJ-specific splitter cable. They're quite surprising how hard it is to find these things. That's probably why Algorithm and Griffin came up with this one for their software. They were struggling to find somewhere to point their customers to buy a cable like this. So they've come up with this one. But there are other cables out there. Here's another version of a splitter cable. It's exactly the same thing. So this one has, this is the important bit, the headphones plug with the left and right, the stereo headphones plug. But this one has one here for your headphones. But it has a different kind of cable here for your speakers. So say you had a twin one of these, so you plug your speakers into there. This is two cables, but don't get confused. It's still one mono signal. It's just splitting it in there and sending it down to, because a cable like that is more common for plugging into speakers. That's the only reason. This one actually came with Stanton's SCS3, like the little compact DJ controller. For the same reason, they bundled this because it's hard to find a cable like that. Now, you've heard the advantages and disadvantages of these things. If you can't find one, or you can't find one of these or one of these, and you want to make your own, now you understand how they work. It's not very hard to make your own, because what you need is three cables basically. You need a headphones cable, like this one. which has got a headphone socket on one end and has got two mono headphone sockets on the other. So it's a headphone splitter cable. And then you need two mono to stereo here, so that when you plug something into the end of it, it's not only coming out of one channel. So you basically need to assemble one from Maplin in the UK or Tandy or Radio Shack or wherever you can get one. There's loads of places online that will sell you the bits and pieces to make one of these if you can't find one to buy. And that's quite often a cheaper way of doing it, because these cables come at a premium. You know, they're quite hard to get. They're specially made. The Algoriddim one and the Griffin one, this one here, is actually really nice. It's nice, you know, it's professionally made cable. But like I say, you can assemble them yourself. So that's really all you need to know about DJ splitter cables. Make sure you buy a DJ one and understand what they do. Now, the software is the important thing. You need to be able to send that headphones output to the left or the right, and the main output to the right or the left, one to each. Virtual DJ can do it, Traktor can do it, Algoriddim's DJ application can do it. Just check that on what you're attempting to use, because if your DJ software can't do that, then one of those cables isn't going to help you. So I hope that's been helpful. It's everything you need to know about splitter cables, and there is an article on the website at digitaldjtips.com/splitter-cables, and on that article we'll link to any cables we can find online, including the one from DJ and from Algoriddim and Griffin, so that if you want to go and buy one, you can do it straight from there. Okay, thanks for watching and see you next time.